You're watching the Alabama Weather Network.
It's Tuesday, the 28th of October. This is meteorologist James Spann. Alabama's weather turning wet again. We'll see periods of rain tonight and tomorrow. And, of course, the weather world is focused on Melissa. The latest on the tropics and much more coming up, so strap in. Here we go. Upper air look today. Again, we have a trough to the north and west. That's going to be developing a cutoff upper low that's over the Tennessee Valley tomorrow. And that will help to bring in the next round of rain for the state. And the bulk of that will be tonight into tomorrow. We'll check the visible satellite view. And again, we've got generally overcast conditions over most of the state. And like yesterday, the exception, the southwestern counties of the state, from near York, Livingston, right down to Butler, Milry, Chatham, Mobile, Dauphin Island, Fort Morgan, nothing but sunshine. The rest of the state, it's cloudy and cool. We'll check the radar composite this afternoon. You can see that light rain beginning to move into the northwestern corner of the state. Light rain falling over North Mississippi, parts of Arkansas. And again, we'll see rain at times tonight and tomorrow. Temperatures are mostly in the 50s and 60s. The exception, down in Chatham, they've got 70. That's where the sun is out. But look at Troy and Greenville. Montgomery, 59. Auburn, 56. Those temperatures are pretty well below average for the end of October. So here's the watch warning map. We have wind advisories in effect for areas west of the state. All the counties in brown there. That would include Arkansas, Louisiana, western Mississippi, much of Texas, Oklahoma, up into the Plain States. And freeze warnings in effect back behind that wind through parts of West Texas and West Oklahoma. So there is a low-end risk of severe storms through tonight for parts of southeast Texas and Louisiana. And again, we stress we do not expect any severe storms here tomorrow. In fact, no thunder, no lightning, just good old-fashioned rain. Tomorrow there's a marginal risk of severe storms from the Outer Banks up toward Virginia Beach. And on day 3, which is Thursday, no severe storms, maybe some thunder around Washington, D.C., Baltimore, up toward Long Island and Cape Cod. So this is the rain for the next 7 days. And again, the bulk of this will be over about the next 36 hours. Rain amounts near 1 inch for the Tennessee Valley, about a ½ inch for Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, Anniston, Gadsden. Then for the southern half of the state, not much. They'll see a few showers tomorrow across South Alabama, but not many. Rain amounts there should be light. Well, let's talk about Melissa. This thing is, of course, over Jamaica, and that's the talk of the weather world. But again, we stress here, other than Melissa, we see no other issues. In fact, here's the updated 7-day outlook from the Hurricane Center, and nothing else. Melissa is it. And goodness, I guess the superlatives continue. Here's a look at the eye coming into the western part of Jamaica. If there's any good news, and sometimes in these kind of things you try and look for some good news, it's this. Hurricane force winds extend out only 30 miles from the center. This is a very compact hurricane. I know the cloud shield goes out a long way, but I'm talking hurricane force winds only 30 miles in all directions from the center. So that's going to limit the really catastrophic wind damage to that western part of Jamaica. Kingston's over on the other side of the country, the island. And no doubt they've got big impacts there, no doubt about that. But, Kingston, they'll be okay. But the concern, it's for that western half of the island where the eye wall is coming right in. And, of course, with the mountains, this will be weakening. And sure enough, the wind velocities are down to 165 miles an hour. It's kind of funny saying down to 165, but that's the case. At one point, this thing had sustained winds of 185 miles per hour. And it is beginning to accelerate. For days, it was creeping at less than 5 miles an hour. Now it's moving towards the northeast at 8 miles per hour. And that acceleration will continue. In fact, this should be over the eastern tip of Cuba late tonight, early tomorrow morning. And again, still a major hurricane coming over the eastern part of Cuba. And then coming out across the southeast Bahamas. And then into the Atlantic. It could be close to Bermuda by late Thursday night as a Category 1. And then this thing becomes post-tropical over the colder waters of the North Atlantic this weekend. And like we've talked about for days, this will stay well east of the east coast of the United States. And like we've talked about for days, we see no tropical storms, no hurricanes for the Gulf, at least for the next 10 days. But remember, Hurricane season runs through the end of November. We've still got a ways to go here, but we're getting close to the end of the season, and it's been an amazingly calm one so far for the Gulf. We hope that keeps up. But, and again, one word of caution. I put this out on some of the socials. You're going to see tons of fake AI-generated video that allegedly shows destruction in Jamaica. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the truth. So just think before you share. And some of the videos look pretty realistic. But that's just the world we live in today. So be aware of all these fake videos that are already circulating. But model fans, let's go. European, this is 4 o'clock tomorrow, 12Z run. There's that cutoff upper low developing over the Tennessee Valley. Very deep trough. And again, we're going to see periods of rain tonight into tomorrow. Let's go to the high-resolution HER model. This is valid tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And I think what's going to happen, we're going to see fairly widespread rain for the northern half of the state tomorrow morning. And then a little narrow band of showers in South Alabama. Again, South Alabama's not going to see much from this. But for the northern half of the state, you might pick up a half-inch of rain tonight and tomorrow morning. And I think what happens, that big mass of rain in the morning moves out. Then as the cold core upper low comes in, we'll see a few additional showers tomorrow afternoon, scattered showers. So very cool, unsettled, highs tomorrow in the 50s for the northern half of the state. Temperatures going absolutely nowhere because of the upper low and dynamic cooling. In fact, you might have a few spots barely out of the 40s over the Tennessee Valley tomorrow. And then Thursday, everything's out of here. There's a small chance of a stray shower over the far northeastern corner of the state Thursday afternoon, but most of the state dry. And again, highs 50s for North Alabama, 60s for the southern half of the state. Friday, Halloween, dry. We start the day in the 30s. A number of North Alabama locations, those colder valleys, could see some frost on the ground Friday morning. The high Friday will be in the 60s, nothing but sunshine. Great, cool, crisp night for the trick-or-treaters. This is Saturday. Same thing. Many spots in North Alabama could start off the day in the 30s with a chance of frost. The sky will be sunny, 60s for North Alabama, 70s for the southern counties of the state. Sunday, another beautiful fall day. Same thing, 60s for North Alabama, 70s to the south. Let's go to next week. Now, the European has kind of backed off on this idea. If you watch this morning, it suggested this upper low over the Gulf could spread some rain into Alabama early next week. The new run here says, no, that's not going to happen. And it's in good agreement with the American GFS, which is dry. Let's go to a week from today. This is Tuesday, the 4th of November. Little upper low south of New Orleans. And again, any rain with that would most likely be to the south, nothing more than isolated showers. And it sure looks like much of next week will be dry. In fact, let's go out 10 days. This is Friday of next week, November 7th, big trough up north, southwest flow aloft here, and we are still dry. So next week looking dry with seasonal temperatures, dry for the most part. Rain for the next 15 days off the European ensemble, AI version. The mean is the green line between 1 and 2 inches between now and the 12th of November. Temperatures coming off the national blend of models. 50s for much of the state tomorrow and Thursday. 60s in South Alabama. And again, you're seeing 39 here, but many of the North Alabama valleys will see mid-30s with frost. And I'm sure some of the colder pockets might see a light freeze early Friday and Saturday morning. And then next week, not bad. Highs upper 60s, low 70s, lows mostly in the 40s. Latest long-range guidance just in November 5th through November 11th. Ooh, back to the orange colors. Temperatures could be a little above average as we approach mid-November if this all works out. And again, there's one more look at Melissa's landfall earlier this morning coming into Jamaica. So that's it for today. Had a great time seeing the senior adults at First Baptist Church of Sylacauga. Marvelous time there today. Tomorrow going to be at MLK Elementary School in Tuscaloosa. Thursday, I'll be speaking in Huntsville at Willowbrook Church. And then after that, I'll be swinging by Sneed State Community College in Boaz. Friday, Mount Olive Elementary School up in North Jefferson County. And Saturday, it's a book signing. Hey, we are going to be in Albertville. Indeed, we're going to be at the Sand Mountain Amphitheater. That's outstanding. We're going to be there from 10 until 1. It's going to be a beautiful fall day. This is a good time to start your Christmas shopping. We'll have all the cool weather shirts, our children's books. It's great. We have a lot of fun. We take a lot of pictures. So Marshall County, come see us. Albertville, Sand Mountain Amphitheater, Saturday from 10 until 1. And, of course, we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News. And don't forget, you can catch my forecast on great radio stations around the state, including in Birmingham, Classic Rock 106.9. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous Tuesday evening, and God bless.